There you go, perfect.
My name is Isabella Oxengender, Isabella Oxsengendre. K9Force employs several innovative training methods and techniques to ensure success of the club and effectiveness of the training itself. First of all, we offer customized training program. We understand that each dog and handler is unique with their own strengths and weaknesses. Therefore, we offer customized training programs that are tailored to meet the specific needs of each dog and handler. That ensures that each team member reaches their full potential. And of course, we strongly believe in continuous learning and development. We regularly update our training methods, and we make sure that we are always providing the best possible training for our dogs and handlers.
I think for training at K9Force, the most important part or most important idea is a happy dog. Like, this is so absolutely crucial. This is something that we work from the very beginnings, when the dogs are very young. We engage with the dogs, we play with the dogs, we make sure the dogs are happy. When we come to the field, we go for a training. Like, the dogs pull us on a field, they just want to go.
We always watch Isabella, how she behaves with her dogs and her dogs with her, and this obviously motivates us to do the same, to bond with the dogs. And there is also lots of sharing of videos or suggestions on our group messenger, where we can read and learn and watch and how things are done and how we can improve our life at home with the dogs.
So K9Force idea actually came in 2016 after I moved from Montreal to Calgary. And I had two IGP dogs with me, Crash at this time IGP3 and Extreme IGP1. And I was looking for a Schutzhund club or IGP club. There's two clubs were in existence in Calgary area. I went and I visited both of them, but to be frank, I didn't really had the desire to join in any of them. At this point, I decided to leave the sport and join search and rescue. I was introduced to a search and rescue club here in Calgary, local club, and shortly after I became a K9 handler with the Task Force 2 in Calgary with my female Extreme. The experience itself was super great. Extreme was certified to the highest level, disaster search canine level 2, and in less than a year. And but coming from competitive sport, actually, I miss that drive. I miss that competitiveness. I miss that goal-oriented training. So that's how the idea to form my own club came. So I left Task Force and created K9Force.
Why did you choose K9?
Well, I think it was sort of coincidental. I have an Airedale. I'm the only person in Canada who is doing IGP with an Airedale. And I never set out in the beginning to do IGP. However, the Airedale was very energetic. And I took him to a few puppy classes. And, I must say that the teacher became sort of desperate because of his energy. And he was always looking, what sort of trouble he could cause. And I then thought I need to find somebody who can deal with dogs which are high energy and maybe a little bit more difficult to train. And I looked on the website and I found K9Force, and they had this intro into obedience 101 they call it. And I contacted Isabel, and already the second lesson, Hector, my Airedale, was changing as a dog. He was very focused. I know that Isabel often took him as an example because he was picking up things quite quickly compared to the others who were in this obedient class. And after the obedience training was finished, Isabel asked me to join the intro program, which we did. And then afterwards, we joined the club.
I met Isabella 7 years ago. She helped me with a different dog. I was having some challenges with him being reactive. It wasn't time for me to do the sport. I was heavily involved with horse showing, so just wasn't, it was the wrong time. But I knew when I would eventually do this sport, she was the girl that I was going to train with. She had everything that I admired. She was positive. She had great team spirit. She had a proven track record. She was competitive, and she was very encouraging and kind to the people that she was teaching. And I could tell that this lady was going somewhere, and I was going to be a part of it one day. And here I am.
I heard about it through the grapevine. It was kind of a new, back in the day when I first joined, it was a new club. And I heard it had very good leadership and a very progressive thinking club. And I'd had a couple of bad experiences with other clubs. So I was really looking for something like this, and lo and behold, found K9Force.
I think when the club started, most members that became a member were first-time dog handlers. And many people who try dog sport find out after a while that, you know, it takes a lot of time. So people get conflicts with family life, with work. And also there are people who have a dog that, you know, doesn't fulfill the expectations that they had, how well the dog should do. So what we saw in the beginning is a lot of turnover in memberships. People come, they enjoy it for a while, and then they get into this time conflict in situation, or in, you know, or not happy with the dog or whatever, and they leave again. And if I'm now looking at the club now, we are a club that has now many people who are on the second dog already, or some even on the third or more. So there is a lot more experience in the club, and that also changes the expectations of people who are a member in the club, because they start, you know, and if you start at the club with IGP3 or with the IGP, you're sort of happy if the dog gets to IGP3 stage. But with your second dog and with your third dog, your aspirations change. And what we clearly now see in the club is that the aspirations of the people who have become or a member are changing.
Teamwork is absolutely vital to the success of K9Force and the development of helpers and handlers. First, teamwork allows for the sharing of knowledge and skills among ourselves, and our helpers and our handlers. Experienced members share and pass on the experience to the newest one. And at the end, it leads to the more skilled and knowledgeable handlers. This is particularly important in our sport, since there is no formal education to be offered. Nobody can go to any type of college and get education and become an IGP handler or helper. Working as a team fosters better communication. We must be able to effectively communicate with each other to ensure the safety and effectiveness of the training. When we work together as a team, our training goals can be completed more efficiently. This is because the team members very directly and indirectly involved in each other training, bringing equipment, spotting, feedback, or any other task according to their strengths, leading to quicker and more effective results.
When I had my previous dog and I was training with Isabella and K9Force, I was having problem in the protection part, and between Isabella and our helper Uri, like they were able to figure out the problem, and I ended up being successful in trials after that.
What was the most challenging for me as a helper when we bring the most valuable and the highest teaching helper to our club, to learn from them, absorb whole information for specific training technique, transfer them to our dogs, individual dogs, and train with them, learn from them, and have fun with them.
The future of working dog training will be shared by greater focus on dog welfare, personalized training programs, and enhanced handler education. And of course, increased collaboration. That's also very important. K9Force, with its innovative and forward-thinking approach, is well equipped to lead all the way in those areas.
Training techniques, I've starting to develop quite a toolbox of training techniques of my own. Isabella has people she knows from around the world. She actually goes to Europe. She will be competing in Europe soon. She brings back a lot of new ideas, forward thinking, and she's a great resource. Other club members that are also competitive remind me of things that, quite frankly, I learn at one point, I forget. So the teammates encourage me to keep up with training.
This is something like in general, like in a sport, that it's been given more and more focus in recent years, and we hear it every time during competitions when the judges critique the performances. They always, or almost always, they mention the dogs being happy, being engaged, being like full team with a handler, like just wanting to be there, wanting to perform, wanting to please the handler.
I think this positive reinforcement worked very well for my first dog, Kaya, who was rather a sensitive dog and did not react very well to any other training but positive reinforcement. So lots of praises, lots of rewards, and as soon as we realized that that's the work, not just commands and asking her to do things, but to actually reward when she is happy and willing to do things, that's when we reward, be it with praise or toys.
Right from the scratch, Porthos was a young pup when we first rejoined the club here. And he needed a lot of guidance. He was, as you can imagine, a 10-week-old Rottweiler puppy is kind of a loose cannon, just with an infinite amount of patience and positivity shown by the trainers here. He snapped into shape relatively quickly, I would say, and became easier to handle week by week, month after month. And yeah, it was just an overall positive outlook.
So my personal goal is continue to push myself and my limits to become better handler and better trainer, better coach in all three disciplines: tracking, obedience, and protection. In a short time, I would like to compete here at the club in May. We have a club trial, and I'm planning to present two of my dogs, actually a Cobra and Sane, to gain more experience and improve my own skills. My long-term aspiration, however, is to qualify for the World Championship.
Personal goal is to do the best I can do with the dog I have. And for my personal goals in the sport would be, the top would be to go to the world competition, to qualify for the Canadian team.
I also aspire to continue promote the sport, encourage more people to embrace that challenging but very rewarding discipline, and contribute to the IGP community in any way I can, whether it's through coaching, volunteering at events, or advocating for the sport. I want to give back to the IGP community that's giving to me for the past 15 years. K9Force actively engages with the dog sport community in several ways. First, we participate in local, regional, and national events, which allows us to connect with other handlers, share the knowledge, and learn from others. We host trials, workshops, and seminars. We invite experts from the field to share their insight and experience. And this not only benefits K9Force members, but also contributes to the broader community learning and development. Consistent practice not only reinforces the training, but also provides opportunity for owners to bond with their dogs. We offer a variety of resources to support owners in the training efforts. And this also includes the feedback on the homework, online resources, the access to advice from experienced learners, anything to ensure that the owners have the support they need to continue training outside of the club.
I would have to say the one that actually brought tears to my eyes is watching Serge and his dog Benny at our last fall trial. And it was Benny's retirement, I guess, hurrah. And when they finished a beautiful, flawless performance, the whole team gathered, and I don't think that there was a dry eye. It was very emotional to see the support that the team gave Benny and Serge, and it was really cool to see that there was a very happy dog and a very committed, loving owner.
I really hope that this documentary will inspire viewers to appreciate and support non-for-profit organizations and clubs like K9Force, organizations that create a supportive and encouraging environment where members can learn from each other, share experience, and celebrate achievements together. The sense of community and working community is crucial in a working dog training in general. It helps to build confidence, motivation, and resilience in both the dogs and the helpers and the handlers. IGP is a team sport that involves multiple dogs and handlers working together toward the common goal. And I think by fostering a sense of teamwork, providing mental and physical stimulation, creating supportive community, K9Force ensure that training is not only effective, but also enjoyable for all parties involved.
The sky's the limit as far as K9Force goes. We just held a massive club trial here last fall, and hopefully that's just a stepping stone for things to come. We hope to make K9Force a go-to destination for people in Canada or the United States or anywhere for that matter.
Okay, we're gonna cut.
Yeah.
So where do I look? Sorry.